This is CNN Breaking News.
All right, I have some very sad news, some breaking news just into us here at CNN. United States Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia has died. According to sources, the 79-year-old Associate Justice was found dead this morning on the property of a luxury resort ranch in Texas. Those sources tell us at CNN that it appears that Justice Scalia died of natural causes and that at this point there is no foul play expected. Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia has died at the age of 79. Our Jeffrey Toobin is on the phone with me. Jeffrey, you are a scholar of the court, the author of the book, The Nine. You know this man, his history, his life, his legacy, inside out. Your thoughts?
Well, Antonin Scalia is one of the handful of most influential Supreme Court justices in history. This is a man who left a huge impact on American law. Now, there have been 115, I believe, Supreme Court justices, but only a handful have enormous personal legacies, and Justice Scalia is in that category. He has been the leader of the conservative wing on the court since he was appointed by President Reagan in 1986, and his departure leaves a huge political fight in the offing because this is a court with 5 Republican appointees, 4 Democratic appointees. President Obama will have the opportunity to nominate someone, and there will be one of the great battles in United States Senate history over whether President Obama's nominee even gets a vote, because the Senate Republicans recognize how important it is to maintain a conservative majority on the court. President Obama is only president for another 10 months, and the question will be whether President Obama's nominee, who I expect will come quickly, will get a vote at all in the remaining months of his presidency.
And Jeffrey, let's talk through some of the cases that stand out to you most that he wrote the leading opinion decision on. What stands out to you most when you think of the history of the cases that he heard?
The most famous and influential opinion that Justice Scalia wrote involved the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. For over 100 years, the Supreme Court had said that the Second Amendment, which refers both to a well-regulated militia and a right to bear arms, only applied to militias. But in 2008, in a case called Heller, Justice Scalia wrote the opinion that said individuals have a Second Amendment right to bear handguns for their own personal protection. And that is an enormously important opinion. He, of course, was in the majority in Bush v. Gore in 2000, which essentially made President Bush president. He has been a stalwart opponent of abortion rights. He has voted against Roe v. Wade at every opportunity. He has voted against gay rights at every opportunity. He was a dissenting. He wrote a scathing dissenting opinion in the Obergefell case, the case that gave gay people the right to marry in all 50 states. There is almost no issue, except perhaps the First Amendment, freedom of speech, where he has not been a down-the-line conservative.
To sum up his legacy, which is a very hard thing to do for a man with this history, what would you say, Jeffrey?
Well, I would say that the conservative idea that the Constitution should be interpreted as the framers understood it in the late 18th century, the idea known as originalism. He was the leading advocate, the leading scholar, the leading the person who brought that idea into the mainstream, and it is now a very much ascendant view of the Constitution. That he is the person most associated with that. He had enormous success, not total success. I mean, the Supreme Court is not a fully conservative institution, but He is he was the leading conservative on the court since his appointment in 1986 by President Reagan, and he leaves an enormous legacy in not just American law but American society.
And Jeffrey, I think a big question now becomes, what happens to those cases that are presently before the court that have been argued in front of Justice Scalia? What happens to those cases right now?
Well, those cases will be decided if they can be. If they have a majority of 5 votes, the cases will be handed down with 8 justices. If there are 4-4 ties, what happens in Supreme Court litigation is those cases become the lower court decision becomes affirmed, but they are not Supreme Court precedents. It's called affirmed by an equally divided court. There are not that many 5-4 cases, especially early in the term, and this is still early in the term. But the real issue is what happens now in the Senate, and who does President Obama nominate, and does that person get a vote in the Senate? I think this is going to be it's going to transform the presidential campaign, and it is really may well dominate much of politics for the next